Storybox Audio. Storybox Audio. Storybox Audio.
Fellas, we live. We live.
All right, so we are live. I'd like to welcome everybody back to another episode of the End Zone. Thank you for joining us today. We always happy to be back and give you some live entertainment with this basketball and news that we have going on here. There's been a lot going on. Uh, So again, I'd like to welcome everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting us. Continue to send your questions. If you have questions,
Do something. Do something.
continue to send your music requests also. If you got a certain song you like to add, please send that too. We a little hyped up on our show today.
We're gonna get it right. We're gonna get it right. Take the streaming off. Let's see. One second. There we are. There we are.
You went using your DJ mode today.
Yeah, he just shook us for a minute. You know what? When we were backstage, I was looking at that logo. I don't remember the logo. A couple of shows ago, you must have got the pictures I sent you of me back in the day. It looked like he wasn't getting it, Reg. He wasn't getting it. I sent you that. I sent you a few pictures of me back in the day, and you pick one and put on that logo that we got.
Now do Skywalker.
Yeah, that was about. Hey, Reg, that was about 100 pounds ago, and about 15 years and 100 pounds, man. That's a nice little logo that we got going on. So, fellas, welcome back. While we were getting ready for the show, man, I thought about one of the discussions that we had about this month being so long, man, without football. Even though we just ended basketball, and this is a basketball show, we're in between sports right now. Right now, all we have is the USA summer teams going, and had we not had the Olympics, we really wouldn't even have the USA team going on right now. So really is a dry time. But I got a few things for us today, a few topics to get started on. So, but before we do that, how y'all fellas doing today? We got Jamel and Reggie in the house. How y'all doing today, brothers? Jamel,
Good,
how's it
man.
going?
Doing well, man.
Good,
Feeling,
good.
feeling good, man. Feeling good.
Okay, okay. Well, we got a few things to talk about. And so we're gonna get right into it. One of the first things I want to talk about is some of these contracts that have been going around lately. A couple of big ones that hadn't had taken place yet during our last show. And let's start off with DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan looks like he's going to the Sacramento Kings. Talk to me, Jamel. Your thoughts on that particular move? Is it good for the Kings, or is it better for DeMar?
That's a solid. They got a solid three over there now with a fast point guard that can get in the lane, shoot the three. They got a big man that can shoot a nice 15-footer, rebound, play somewhat some good, decent defense, and now you got another slasher that can get a bucket for you. Um, when you need a bucket down the stretch, you can put him in the mid post. You can ISO him. So I like what the Kings did right there. And you still got Malik Monk, who he was kind of injured down the stretch last year.
Yeah.
So I like that pickup that they got for him, and I don't think they spent too much. They didn't give up nothing. I think they gave up like two second rounders. So
Yeah.
I like DeRozan on the Kings. That I think they're gonna be sneaky good next year. I think we had them we talked about the Kings being like kind of like the bottom half of the West next year, but they gonna be sneaky good because adding DeRozan and they didn't give up much. Yeah, I like that.
And you know what was crazy? The Kings wasn't in a whole lot of conversation for the playoffs, but they were probably one of the teams that you really didn't want to see that could have, did something to you if you're not paying attention. So good point. Um
And he
Red,
got experience
oh go
too.
ahead. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Got
And he's a
experience.
decent player, I think. He's not he what 4 or 5 time all-star. He's not just some free agent that's just gonna clog up. I think he still got some good years behind him left in him to do something. Reg, what's your thoughts on that DeMar DeRozan move?
I think it's a good move for Sacramento. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Sacramento they need a couple of veterans, I think, and then he'd be good for the. I think he'd be good for the locker room. He got that calmness about himself,
Yeah,
and he's close. He want to get closer back to home. You know what I'm saying? And I think Coach Brown, Mike Brown, pretty good coach. They could fit him in, but I think it's a good move for them. You know what I'm saying? Sacramento on the low. That look might help them in the playoffs. I
yeah,
know it's gonna help through the season, but it might help them in the playoffs because DeRozan, one thing about it, he's a pretty even keel guy. You know what I'm saying? In Sacramento in the playoffs, they kind of got rattled when they were in the playoffs. I think it's a real good move. I think it's gonna work out for him.
yeah, yeah. Same here. The only player that was significant that left Sacramento, and his name just left my mind. He came from Golden State,
Oh,
veteran.
Harrison Barnes. Yeah,
Harrison
Harrison
Barnes.
Barnes.
yeah, they
Harrison
did lose
Barnes
him.
left. Yeah, and that would have been a tag team veteran combo for Sacramento, but I still think uh, DeMar DeRozan going there is a good look. Um, and I think the West is now a little shaken up. You got Chris Paul going over to San Antonio. You got Phoenix keeping the three that they had in place. The Lakers didn't make too much. We talked about Bronny last week. But as far as free agency, there's still some moves that can be made. Free agency just started a week ago. So stay tuned. Paul, the big names went early. I think that everybody knew certain people were going to move. So Paul George, some of the other people that came over, Clay Thompson, introduced. It was today. If I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
Clay
yeah, it did.
Thompson was introduced
Yeah.
to Dallas, and again, I think that that's an excellent move. What are your thoughts on that, Reggie? With Clay again coming here, are you even more comfortable with it and excited for the Mavs this upcoming season?
I still got to see how it play out. I think it's a good move, but
Mm,
we still got to remember the flow, the chemistry of it. How they gonna get the chemistry? They got to work out the kinks. Kyrie, Luca, Clay, new guys with the lob, with the lob guys. I think they still got to work it out. I think it's a good fit, but we got to see how the chemistry. You got to play and see how it's gonna feel out. But overall, I think that Dallas did a good move. But at the same time, I feel a lot of teams in the West have got better, and you got to take chance when you get there. You got to take advantage of your chance when you get there. You know what I'm saying? Because I look at the Miami Heat. Look where they end up at. They got there. Look where they end up at. So you got when you get your smell, you get the smell of finals. You got some way try to figure it out and get you one of them rings. Because
you
there's no
know,
guarantee you're gonna be back next year.
yep, and so that brings me to this question for you, Jamel, with these signings, and he brought up a point about some of these teams, and we always say the big three. Um, the teams are being built to win immediately. I don't think that they're trying to put these teams together for the future. These contracts where it's 2 or 3 years, the last year some type of opt out. I don't think that they're looking way down the line. I think that they're more looking and trying to have a championship or bust excuse me, type season, whether they win this year or next year. They looking at making some noise within the immediate 1 to 2 years. So what are your thought about big three getting together? And I'll use the Clippers as an example. They thought bringing Harden in with Kawhi Leonard, Paul George would be a really, really good fit with Lou being a great coach. It took them a minute to get that chemistry going. What are your thoughts on when these teams are stacking the teams, if you will, with these big three combinations? Is it a good look? Are you thinking that they do it for the season or moving forward down the line?
I mean, I think as an executive, they look at the big three. If you can sell your sports fans or your local sports fans on, hey, we got a big three, we got a chance. But for me, if I was executive, I'm looking at the Celtics. I'm looking at what what Denver's doing. I'm looking at what the Warriors doing. Right, teams that have chemistry, teams that have great role players, and I think that's where your successful executives are going to find success. Right, because we can look at the Suns that have three Hall of Famers. I would say Bradley Bill's probably a borderline. I would say Booker's probably a shoe in at this point, right? He's probably going to be a double Olympian, multiple All Stars, scored 70 points, right? So you bring in three talented guys, or we look at the Clippers and you just bring in three talented guys, and it didn't work, right? They haven't produced a championship yet. So if I'm an executive, I'm not looking at just bringing three talented superstar guys and feeding my fan base, hey, we got the big three, we're contenders. I don't think that's going to work anymore. I think and I think executives are figuring it out. You got to have great role players, and you got to have guys that get along. You got to have a star that's not as willing to sacrifice some of the things. Jason Tatum, he's the face of the franchise, but at times he'll take a backseat to Jalen Brown. You feel what I'm saying? So I think that's
Yeah.
where the league is going to go.
Yeah, yeah. Really good point. And it's funny. The big three were they had three talented players in Brooklyn with Kyrie Irving, Harden, and Durant, and it didn't work.
and didn't work.
And these guys are now on different teams respectively, and they doing a decent job. Harden is probably the least out of the three that are
Mhm.
putting up the numbers that you would want for your team moving forward. And so it's just a testament to say you never know. With like you said, having the backup players, I think really help a lot. So let's move towards a really big contract. Talk to me about what you thought about Jason Tatum's contract, Reg. Was he worth that? Do you think that he's going to step up and show us he's worth that much money and take Boston back to the playoffs and possibly championship? What are your thoughts on Jason Tatum right now?
Well, Jamil kind of hit on it. He's that guy. He's a superstar, but at the same time, he knows he can humble himself and step back. He doesn't have to do it because Boston has so much depth that they build around him that he don't have to put all the pressure and the weight on his own shoulders. Hey, he might have a bad game, so instead of me trying to score, let me go rebound. Let me do some assists. Let me d up somebody. I don't have to score 30 points and hey do it all myself. I got guys around me. Hey, I might can hit 17, 11 points that night, or say hey, and it's all right if we come out with a W. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to be frustrated. You know what I'm saying? So well, hey, because I got that going on. I don't have to. I don't have to worry about that. And I think
Mhm.
he with the years he's been in and the productions he put in, he's earned the contract. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of money, but that's just how the NFL and the Major League Baseball they get paid like that. He deserved the money, and heck, and I don't know if Boston gonna be back, but they back there this year. But they sure enough have a good chance because they bringing all the starting five back. So
They
you know what I'm
whole
saying?
starting five. You're right. I saw
Yeah,
that article today. Their whole starting five is locked down.
yeah,
Contracts.
yeah. They
Everybody
locked down.
signed. Everybody signed. Brown,
I'm,
Tatum, uh,
I'm just
Porzingis.
I'm
Porzingis
just
signed a
thinking
nice
when it
contract.
stops.
Um,
Like
I can
when
see
does the
Boston back.
he's at no, I'm saying his salary. He's at 315
Yeah,
5 year
Yep.
extension.
yeah,
Yeah.
So you gotta
Yeah.
think in another 10, 15 years,
They're gonna be
we're gonna
putting
be at
half a million,
we gonna be at 400,000. I mean 4,000, 400 million
400 million a season. I mean, I'm sorry, a contract for these
a
guys for
contract.
5 and 6 years, 500
Bron,
million.
Bronny
yeah.
gonna be the first 400 million. Reggie, Reggie,
Reggie ready
Reggie
to
gonna
end the
blow,
show right now.
Reggie ready to blow up.
Yeah, yeah, he's ready to end the show on that one.
Well,
That's a really good point. That's a really good point. Let's look at let's take a twist. Let's talk about our USA team. How are you guys feeling? The Olympics coming up here pretty soon. How are you guys feeling about that team in particular? A lot of egos. We've been kind of talking about that on a particular basis, and I'm gonna give you a segue into it. I always felt that the Olympic team was a little bit different as far as I looked at them as a pickup type of team. Reg, like when you playing pickup games in the gym in the summertime with some of the guys that are really pretty good in the league, y'all get together. It's I think that the competition is being looked at a little bit different too. You playing people around the world, not just the same East and West conference, Eastern Western conference. This is more of a bigger, fast-paced game, sort of like an all-star. So, what are your thoughts about the way our USA team men's team is built? How's it looking to you?
well, it's been good. I think they got a variety. That one thing that hurt us in the cup last year that where the guys was playing, the US was playing, we didn't have size. So they got the size as long as Embiid holds up. Embiid, Anthony Jackson, bam. They hold up. They got the size. They got the versatility where you can move Tatum, KD in and out, LeBron in and out. They got the shooters. They got defenders, Kawhi. They got Holiday. They got a little young. They got the Anthony Edwards, the Halliburton. You know what I'm saying? You got the Steph Curry with the deep shots. So hey, the guy to me, I don't see no problem with the team. I think they're gonna win. They're gonna have some close games here and there, but I don't see anybody. I don't see anybody beating the USA. I don't see nobody beating the USA.
Same here. As you was naming the roster, it was just getting better and better, And you know what I mean? He went from the young guys with Anthony Edwards and Halliburton, and those guys are really pretty good. Everybody on the team is an all-star.
You look at it. Think about it. Eventually. Think about it. Halliburton, Anthony Edwards, the only ones that's got to prove. Everybody else is a Hall of Famer on that team right now.
Pretty much.
Only one, Anthony Edwards
Maybe
and
not
Halliburton.
Bam. Maybe not
Everybody
Bam.
else is a Hall of Famer on that team.
I think who we left off that team, Bam Adebayo is on that team.
Bam on there.
Bam on there.
I don't know if Bam's Hall of Fame yet.
Yeah, he's a double walking machine.
Yeah. But he's also a big man that we needed and pretty athletic. So and this is his second time. He played on the he has some experience. Yeah, he got some experience.
Yeah.
He got some experience to bring to the table, and it sounds like a lot of defense. What's your thought, Jamil, on the way our U.S. team is looking?
That's going to be the underlying factor. That defense, man. Like they got Drew Holiday, and you got to think you got Drew Holiday. You're gonna have a fresh Drew Holiday on somebody on a fresh Drew Holiday, not a 40-minute Drew Holiday, a Drew Holiday that's playing 20 minutes, bro. He gonna be in somebody's drawers.
Yeah.
Right. So you got that. You got Ant-Man, his athleticism. You got scorers all over the place. I'm looking forward to seeing the Warriors offense with these guys. Because it's gonna be a lot of player movement, a lot of ball movement, right? It's gonna be pretty basketball, right?
Yes.
Then when you need a basket, hey KD, go ahead and go to the post. Hey Bron, go ahead and go to the post. So AD, go to the post. You got multiple guys that you could throw down there in the post. Yo, go get me a bucket if you need a bucket, right? Yeah. And so, man, this is a deep team that I'm really looking forward to seeing of them putting on a display of really pretty basketball, right? Of high IQ, pretty basketball.
So those thoughts stick with me. Who would you start?
So I did hear reports that LeBron is at the 1. I love that. Because you got Bron as your decision maker coming down on a mini break. So Bron, Steph at the 2. I put Tatum at the 3. I put KD at the 4, and I put Embiid at the 5.
I got a different 5, but let me hear what Reggie got to say on the starting 5.
I agree with his 5. That's the 5 I would start. That's the 5 I would start. Now, only thing I would do different is this. When I play France, because I'm going to play Gobert and Wemby, I will start Anthony Davis and Embiid that game. I would have to figure out my other stuff, but I would start Anthony Davis and Embiid that game. I would work my other 3 around, but that starting the Olympics, that the same starting 5 Jamil said, that's the starting 5 I'll start.
So just a question, just a question, and my concern is the number 2 spot. If you got LeBron playing the number 1, you already gonna have sound like Drew Holiday coming off the bench. You sure that you want Curry at the 2 instead of maybe like Halliburton for size?
No, you take him away from shooting. This is the best shooter in the world. You ain't gonna the best shooter in the world on the bench.
Well, I get that, but I'm looking at coming off the. You got the best defender coming off the bench. Drew Holiday is the best defender out of that 5. He's the best defender. He's just small.
Right.
He's not a better player than Curry. I get that.
All them long. Steph Curry is the shortest one you got.
Okay.
6'3". He's a legit 6'3".
I think
With that length.
yeah, oh yeah. But I think I'm thinking too about how to build my bench coming off for a fresh start, and Curry being the leader of that. Now
Drew
you're gonna
Holiday
have
coming off that bench that first go.
there you go. Okay.
Then you
Okay.
bring
I
Kawhi
would
off that bench.
I would say if
They
you
gonna lock somebody up.
Is Booker
They
on
gonna
this
lock
team?
somebody. Booker
Is Booker
score.
on this team?
Booker score. You
Then
know what I'm saying?
okay. So we got fire coming off the bench.
I'm telling you, but yeah, I wouldn't start Holiday. I thought
Okay.
about it, then I had to think about it. That starting five right there is the best one, like Jamil said. You got a little old, but you got youth, but you got size. You got size. And you got IQ, basketball IQ. And they don't Tatum is about the only one that will get rattled. Him and Embiid. And LeBron and KD and Curry can settle the storm. Settle the storm. Calm down. Calm down.
Okay.
And then when you need a stop, I would say come out with your firepower on offense, right? And then say if the game is close and you need some stops, then you put Drew Holiday in, right? You put Bam in. You put
Kawhi.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
what I'm saying. People,
Yep.
he ain't got to play that many minutes like in the NBA. You ain't got to play 10 minutes, but that 10 minutes, Kawhi gonna get you some steals.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
and he is. Yeah, he is. And a lot of times we hear all of these reports, but I think a lot of it is just the media getting stuff stirred up. Because at one point I thought I heard something about Ant-Man not wanting to come off the bench, but I can't see him starting. I mean, it is what it is. Everybody can't start, and I
he
thought
ain't paid
that
his dues.
Oh no, absolutely, I'm with you. I don't see him starting either. But the thing about it is, this team is put together with a lot of guys that are humble. I don't see anybody, even throughout regular season last year, that created havoc in the locker room or a lot of distortion, throughout the league. So, how do you guys feel about this being one of the best teams? Is this the best USA team put together? And I go to you, Jamil.
I was thinking about that, man. Probably I think it's the most deep team for sure, right?
Correct word. Correct word.
I think it's the most deep team. I don't know if it's the best team, man. And I was thinking about this because I'm like, okay, I like Patrick Ewing against Embiid, right? Then you had David Robinson. You had Chris
Bird.
Mullin.
You got Bird, Magic,
Well, I ain't
Jordan.
I'll put Bird more on the decoration part. He got titles and everything, but you got to remember Bird was like 34, 35 at the time.
Yeah,
so he was on his last leg.
He still come up there and give you a quick three.
Yeah, he can give you a quick three, but I don't know if he could have rocked with this team, right? But then you got Chris Mullin. You had Chris Mullin. You had Drexler. Like it'll be a good for good conversation. I think this is the most, like I said, deep team. 1 to 12, interchangeable guys. Yeah, but
Okay,
I don't know if it's the best team.
All right, so before Reg give his response, I think
Yeah.
sometimes we might get caught up on the times. At the time, in that era, the Dream Team was the best at that time.
Okay.
These players are a little bit advanced, a little bit faster, I should say, for where they are in the league. Not everybody. I think how long Tatum been in the league? Some of these guys are winning.
7 years.
6 years.
Yeah, some of these guys are winning
years,
championships really early in their careers. So that's what I mean
What
by
you
fast
talking
and
about?
advanced.
Max Johnson
No,
won
not
a
really.
championship his second year.
I say some of them. I said some. Some.
Bird won his third year.
I'm saying Patrick, you ain't win none.
No.
Barkley didn't win none.
Because
Barkley
Jordan
didn't
was
win
in the
nothing.
league.
Okay, but I'm saying we talking about on the team. Patrick Ewing and Barkley didn't win nothing,
Right.
and they own the team.
Why?
Well, Embiid because of Jordan.
Because of Jordan. Yeah, so I'm saying we talking about a lot of guys on this USA team got rings, multiple rings. That doesn't happen. You got Curry
Because
with 4
Jordan
rings.
had 6.
So again, when I say,
What you talking about? Scottie Pippen was on that team too.
He was. Pippen was on
Yeah.
that squad.
Man, you better wake up.
the only
And,
people that's on that
correct
team,
me,
it was
correct
4
me if I'm
people,
wrong.
deep rings: Magic, Jordan, Pippen, and
And
I think
Bird.
at that
Bird
time Bird. Them
and
the only
Robinson.
and Robinson. No, Robinson at that point he only
Yeah,
had
he didn't get one.
2.
He didn't get
He
one
only
yet.
he,
Yeah,
he,
he didn't get
he
one
might
yet.
only
He
have
didn't get
one
one
because
yet.
the first one was
Mm-mm.
that what 99 season.
Right. Yeah. So he didn't get one yet.
Pickett.
But you got to remember now. If correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say at that time, Bird and Magic had 5 apiece. No.
By that time, yeah,
Yeah, 4 or 5 apiece.
4 or
That's what I'm
5,
trying
at
to
least
say.
4.
They ran the
So-
league.
So you're looking at
They
4.
ran the league.
You're looking at 4 people
Which
on the
which
team
one
with
of them
rings.
guys that on that team right now, this team right now, ran the league? Which one? You can't say no about LeBron and Steph to the latter years. But when Magic and Bird was in NBA, you know you had to go through the Lakers and you went through Boston.
I give
You
Bron
can't,
his
you
props.
can't say that for anybody else. You can say LeBron where you got to go.
I can
to
say
Cleveland.
Bron's because
You
Bron.
can say where you said Curry for the last 7 years you got to go through Curry. I mean Golden State.
Well, Bron came in taking his team to the playoffs as a
But no,
rookie.
you didn't have to go through him though.
No.
You
You didn't have to go through him,
You
but
didn't have
he
to go
came in
through him.
strong. I get it.
You didn't have to go through him until you got to Miami.
So do you think which team do you think is better, this team or the dream team?
He just answered the question. The answer is this team is deeper. But you telling me you got to check Mike, you got to check Barkley, you got to check Robinson, you got to check Scott, and Scotty was the defender. Now don't forget Scotty shut others down. We're gonna put Scotty on KD.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Because you see what I'm saying? So you gotta think about it now. Don't get it twisted. But about them guys, you gotta look at Bird, Magic. Them guys ran the league. Do you really call Jason Tatum running the league? Do you call Embiid running the league?
And you know,
KD, do you running the league?
and you think back by this time, were teams getting stacked as they are now?
No.
Not like they are. It might have been one or two
NBA
trades.
was more spread out because, like he mentioned, Drexler. Portland was good.
Yeah. That's the first person I thought about when we talked about this spread out. Portland,
Chris
and then
was
he
good
got
with
there.
Golden State.
Yeah.
Smaller was nice.
Yeah.
You know, it was more spread out, but you had to go. You had to come to LA, or you had to come to Boston.
So do y'all like the way that the setup is now with the free agency, or do you wish it would go back to the old days where teams? I mean, you got guys that stayed a little bit longer with the team. I mean, Barkley moved around. I think he started out with Philly, and then I think when the Dream Team came around, he was already with Phoenix, right? So how do y'all feel about the way free agency is now or back then, with the players wanting to stay with the team even longer? You think it's better for the league, or these guys just got to get their money?
They gotta get their money, man. Them
Yeah,
owners, the billionaires, get your money.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I think about is like them dudes getting their money, man.
Yeah, them billionaires eat. They eat.
Yeah, but
them guys, man, give them their money.
Okay, we understand that part, but is that getting us the quality of the NBA that we want to see?
Yeah, you got a job, don't you?
Yeah.
You got a job. That's their job. The people that's over you, if they making $1 billion and you making pennies, they don't want to give Michael Jordan Magic Johnson had a $25 million contract for 25 years. He made $1 million a year.
Yeah.
Do you think Mr. Bus cheated Magic?
No, back then he gave him
He didn't cheat him?
that was well.
Magic
Let me
sold
go
him
back. Let me go back.
He brought too much money back.
Let me go back and say.
Come
Let me
on,
go back
man.
and say.
He
Let me go
brought
back and say.
Showtime to that.
Let me go back and say. he should have got more than that. But at that time, that was one of the largest contracts any
That's what
NBA
I'm
player
trying
ever
to
seen.
say. They made it so they eat. Billionaires eat. Mr. Bus was almost a billionaire back then. You gonna give Magic $1 million.
Yeah, I get your point. I get your point.
Mhm.
Man.
Times
And I
is
think,
times, but I also think that takes away from the game, though. Seriously, I think that
nah,
these guys sign most of the time. These guys sign these big contracts. The very next year they hurt. They ain't playing. They ain't
I feel
playing.
you.
They
I
got
feel
their
you.
money. Okay, you
There's
got your
some
money.
there's something like that. But I think overall, as far as the game, I think it's making teams say, "Hey, we have a chance." You kind of brought it up earlier, where you was like, all these teams are trying to win now, and it's because you have so much player movement. You have
Right.
guys that are like, "Hey, I'm taking a 2-3 million deal because I can make much more money within my lifetime of my career. Plus, I can possibly get a ring." I don't think most of them are thinking about the ring. I think it's like, hey, it's a business. But as a team, I know now, hey, you know what? This player is going to be available. I can add this piece, this asset, and possibly make myself more viable within the league. And so I think that's good for the league that, teams can now have a 3-year window per se and say, hey, we can make ourselves relevant in the league, right? And it can happen for any team, maybe not Detroit Pistons, but for most teams, they looking at a 3-year window and say, hey, we know what, we can make ourselves contenders.
Well,
I
when you
think it's
say
good for the league.
when you say 3-year window, it's funny. I want to say Paul George was on the fence between a 3 and a 4-year contract. So you can't say he went there. He possibly could have went someplace else had somebody else cut him a different deal, right? He said the Clippers wasn't trying to give him 4 years; they gave him 3.
Right. He wanted
So if
for
they
he
would have
wanted the
gave,
max.
yeah.
He
So if
wanted
he
the
wanted,
max.
if he would have got the max, had he stayed in L.A.
Right. He stayed there.
Okay, so he wasn't going for no championship because he
Well,
said on the
all them don't
podcast,
go for championship.
yeah, and that's my point. That's what I'm getting
That's what
at.
I'm saying.
They not
So,
playing for the
but you gotta look at it.
the
Back then,
chips.
everybody wasn't playing for a championship.
Mhm.
Everybody wasn't playing for no championship back then.
Well, you got 3 teams. You got 3 or 4 teams that play
What-
for everybody. When you came to LA, these big markets, LA, Boston, New York, and back then Chicago. Those teams was looking to win, man. They was looking
Yes.
to represent and win. And again, the money wasn't what it is today. But my Paul George point, had he got 4 years to stay in LA, he knew he wasn't gonna win no championship with LA. So you just got your money for what you're worth in the league. But you're not trying to get a trophy either. You're not trying to get a ring.
Well, you kind of made your point. I would say I would disagree with you because I think he does have a better chance with Embiid because now you're playing on the East Coast, which is not as deep as the West. We can all agree on that, I believe. And you're playing with probably a top 5 guy in the league, right?
Yeah, but he would have stayed in LA. My point. He would have stayed in LA had he got the 4 years. If they only offered him 3. Had he got 4 years, he would have
Okay.
never got to go play with
Okay, I
Embiid.
misunderstood what you're saying. I
Yeah, he
misunderstood
would
what
have
you're saying.
never went to go
But
play with Embiid. He just would have
But that
settled for
didn't
the money.
happen. So he went in a better situation playing with Embiid, long as
Yeah.
Embiid helped.
Yeah,
And you gotta look at it. It's more teams. When have we had a back-to-back champion? We ain't had a back-to-back champion since Golden State.
yeah.
So the
I see.
league is more balanced. Even with
Yeah.
this contract stuff, it's more balanced.
Now,
Different teams are winning.
oh yeah. Oh, look at some of the teams that made the playoffs, especially on the East Coast. Indianapolis made the playoffs this year. You got Orlando making the playoffs this year. I like to see that different teams that haven't been in the playoffs coming up and showing some young talent. I do agree with that these days. I'm tired of seeing the same old team get there. I was happy to see Boston keep going back and finally get it. I know Miami was knocking at the door,
what?
but I think I was happy. I was happy to see Boston. I said Boston was coming out the East at the beginning of the year. I said Boston
Okay.
was going to come out
Okay.
on the East. We talking about the East. You know that West was a little shaky.
But I'm just surprised you said you was happy that they got number 18. I
What?
was, with all that
No,
gold
not
purple
like
behind
that.
you.
Not like that. I mean, when I like teams that's competitive. I think that they did what they needed to do with that team to keep them together.
You
Y'all
say
made
you
a lot
like
of good
teams that
comparisons.
competitive. Well, why you like the Lakers?
You know why I
You say
like the
team,
Lakers,
you say
Red.
why you don't want teams that competitive. They're not competitive.
They not competitive every year, but they a
They're not
competitive
competitive.
franchise. Did we win? Did we win? What was that?
Don't say no
What was
inter
that?
tournament. Don't say no interconference tournament. Hold up a banner. That's
That's where he
embarrassing.
was going, Reggie. That's
I
where he
was
was
I
You better
was
not
going.
hold up
I
no
was
banner saying you won
I
an
was going,
interconference.
but
That's
we
where he
ain't
was
as
going,
bad.
Reggie.
We ain't as bad as everybody, Reg.
No, but
Everybody
you
can't
made the
win.
statement. I didn't make the statement. You said I like competitive teams, and I said why you like the Lakers.
The Lakers competitive, man. I don't care what you say. You just got an opinion and some ink pens, dog.
Man,
That
this,
they competitive,
who,
man. They competitive. The playoff run that they made to get what they did
this
was
year?
competitive this year. This year. They could have folded. And some of the teams that we thought was gonna be there wasn't there. So they did what they needed to do. They missing pieces too. They competed. They competed. I'm gonna ride with them.
I ain't saying you can't ride with them,
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna
don't
ride
say
with
they
them.
were competitive.
They competitive. They did the best that they could do.
They showed up.
they did. They did the best that they could do with what they had.
Okay. You make that. Okay, I can
I
agree with
ride
that.
with that. I
I,
ride with
I
that.
agree with that.
And once again, free agency is not over with. We getting ready to see what's gonna happen. I'm still waiting to see what's gonna happen with D'Lo. I haven't heard. I
What you
haven't heard
mean?
any.
He gonna be on your team?
So
Mhm.
he all in.
Y'all all in on him?
I don't see that standing. I guarantee you
Yeah,
he
yeah.
going I don't foresee that standing up.
It's gonna stand into the trade deadline.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Hmm.
I think something is gonna get moved around. We got a lot of time. I got a lot of pieces I think are gonna get moved around and we're gonna see something different.
Yeah,
D'Angelo
why, why,
Russell,
why LeBron ain't taking more accountability of the direction of the Lakers? Like, why?
mm,
Like, so you got your podcast mate, the head coaching job. You don't you like, yeah, I don't do with hiring. You got your son put on the team.
drafted.
Yeah, you got your son drafted. Yeah, and then so it's like, and it's like, yeah, then you'll come on the media and say, yeah, I don't deal with that side of the team. What? Like, what are you talking about? Everything we all know, everything goes through him, man. Like, I wish he would stop that. Like, everything goes through you. Every
He's
every
been
decision
doing it
they
his
make.
whole life.
Yeah.
His whole career.
And we've been
That's what
hearing
you
that
know.
on a lot of podcasts, man, that a lot of players are saying LeBron lying. They know he got
Yeah,
something to
like
do with it. Every
he's a star
podcast,
player.
I don't know why they say that. I don't know if that's what they want you to hear, but we all know every major player on the team is decisions are going through them. Whether it be coaching, staff, it's going through them, man. How we got JJ Redick. My argument with Reggie about being a competitive team, and we could have got Sam Cassell, but we get JJ Redick. I'm still shaking my head, dog. I just don't understand what these moves is about. But you giving these guys all this money, that's gonna give them the leverage to do that. This is what it's coming to. It is. It's coming to that. If you not saying that they don't deserve it, but you got to take the yin with the yang, man. You pay them the money, you're gonna get these type of situations. Had they not had that money, they'd be playing to get it and probably be looking at things a little bit different way. I bet you if they had a opportunity to say, we need an NBA Hall of Fame coach to get us this championship, and they wasn't really worried about the money, there wouldn't be no JJ Reddick coaching that team.
Mhm.
It wouldn't be no JJ Redick. So our thoughts are really off when you talk about why LeBron and his thoughts with the Lakers. I don't think LeBron is playing for a championship anymore. I still like the Lakers as an organization being competitive, but some of those pieces you're gonna have to get rid of to actually get back to a championship type caliber organization. These guys got too much money on the table right now. He trying to make moves that Bronny could not be there after his third year. whatever his contract is up. LeBron putting it in a position where he can move if he move. He can go wherever his son go. They putting themselves in positions later on down the line. They ain't trying to put themselves in a position to win no championship. We damn sure didn't do that this year. You know what I'm saying?
So you saying that they can't win a championship with LeBron, AD, and JJ Redick as it is right now?
No.
So what do you call your team? You call them? Are they a playoff team right now? It's taking you a long time.
It's hard to say. I'm being honest. I'm a fan. I'm a fan by life for life. I'm a fan for life, Ray.
Oh, whoever come with the Lakers, that's who you take.
I'm gonna take them, but
realistically,
realistically,
I can live with that. You're a Lakers fan.
Realistically, though, man, this West is looking really, really different, and the Lakers got to stay healthy. One, to even try to talk about the playoffs. We can't even talk about the playoffs. We can't even get 25 games consistent with a good, strong starting five. So it's hard to say, man. To be
that's the issue with having a 40-year-old, number one guy. I still think Lakers are a playoff team, and mainly because you have LeBron James on your team. You have one, arguably the greatest player on the team that's still playing at an exceptional level. He just can't. You can't expect him to do that 38 minutes a game for 65 games. You can't expect him to do that anymore. LeBron, he should play no more than 50 games, and he should play no more than 30 minutes a game. That should be his goals for every game. But can you be a contender doing that? I don't know because you don't have that chemistry like I was talking about earlier in the show. You're not going to gain that chemistry with all the guys, all the new parts that you have coming within a team. You know what I mean? And really, the issue that the Lakers have is they don't have they don't have lockdown defenders like they did on their 2020 team. You had Caruso, you had
Caldwell Pope.
Thank you. And to a lesser degree, you had Rondo.
Yeah.
They don't have lockdown guys in the backcourt that can just in the front court that can lock down and make things difficult for guys. And as long as you keep LeBron in the game, because we've seen it in Game 7 when they was playing against Denver. If Jamal Murray didn't hit that shot, they had a chance.
Yeah, but that goes back to what we said about the free agency. Both of those guys that you named ain't even with the team that they left the Lakers to go to. Every 2 years, people are moving around. Lakers get guys every so often. They get a good guy. 2 years later, they gone and they better at the team that they go to. You just named two, Caruso and KCP.
Well, that come from the general manager. Lock them in.
Boston I get it. Guys in. Yeah, Boston and look at what they're getting. Look at what they're getting.
They didn't want to pay Caruso or Caldwell Pope.
Yeah.
After they won that championship, they didn't want to pay neither one of those guys.
Well, then also you got to remember too, LeBron wanted Russell Westbrook on the team.
Yep.
Right. Yep. So these are the things that are hurting y'all.
Absolutely. You got guys that's trying to be players, coaches, managers, all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's way too much, man. The league is not
and I don't
really what it used to be.
I agree. Giving you got to go to your superstar and say, hey, do you agree? But LeBron is the reason why some of these things is happening to the Lakers, man. Right?
Hey,
I feel sorry for Russell Westbrook. I wish he wouldn't have fell off so hard. The dude is one of the greatest players, man. He's one of the greatest players to play, man. He really is. Like, dude averaged a triple-double for like 3 seasons, 2-3 seasons. Like that's
one of the hardest. He's one of the hardest playing guys that I've seen. He goes hard.
Yeah. And he fell hard real quick.
Yeah. So, Jamil, me and you were talking about this topic, and it was about why talented free agents are not choosing to play with LeBron and the Lakers. So That's a good question. I'll start you off with that, Reggie.
Yeah, I
Why do you
mean,
think we've been
uh,
talking about we've been talking about LeBron a lot and one of the biggest figures in the league, not just with the Lakers. Why do you think that certain NBA players choose not to play with certain players? We
Well,
could use LeBron as an example.
it's about style, and it's about if we go back in history. Once LeBron, built up his hype and got situated in the league, the lights are always around it. And you go back to even when them Cleveland teams when they went to the playoffs, no blame really goes to LeBron. It goes to the guys around him. And guys, they don't mind taking blame, but at the same time, just like Jamel said, LeBron, you got to take some blame for some of this stuff too. And that's where guys they they don't want to be like that because they don't want to get outcasted all the time. It's like now, if you think about on this Laker team now, Rudy Hachimura, Vanderbilt, Reeves, D'Angelo Russell. He might mess up, but does he deserve all really the scrutiny
Yeah, yeah.
that he's getting? Rudy, I mean, come on now. Come on now. These are role players. These are role players. And guys are going to say, well, hey, I'll go play with a lesser team. I ain't got the spotlight on me. I'm doing my job. Especially if you one of them top-notch guys, you can say what you want. But Clay looked at it. He evaluated, even though his daddy worked for L.A., played for L.A., won a championship in L.A. Dallas was better for him. But back in the days, you think they would have passed up playing with Kobe? No,
Mm.
no, no. But I'm just trying to say, like Shamil says, and I like LeBron. He's done a lot of great things for the league, outside the league. But he does a lot of things behind the scenes too that put other people in awkward situations. You know what I'm saying?
I
Especially
think
some of his teammates.
I'll piggyback before I get to Jamel. I'll piggyback on two different things. One, when you said the lights, we had an episode talking about when the lights are on and certain teams and players that step up when the lights are on. LA is just one of those franchises that the expectations are so high. And I think if LeBron would have been in Miami, look at the players that they had around them was a little bit different. And I make another point when y'all talked about Jason Tatum. Y'all said that he was had the ability to step back and allow Brown to be able to be the man if need be that night. The Lakers don't really have that. I don't think that we have a big ego problem, but I don't think LeBron taking the back seat to allow nobody to be doing that. He has one of those thoughts to me. I'm gonna come in the game and if we down, I can get us back up at any given time. It's no it's no and then they not being consistent. Every other week they off. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's his age, you knew he was your age. LeBron know how old he is right now when he just signed that contract last week. Did he not? So he know whether he gonna be playing all them games or not. That's why I said again, this is not really about helping us as a franchise get another championship because we not putting ourselves in a position for that. We marketing, and it should be the market. Hey, come to LA because we got the money. But I can't see that. You still muted, Jay. You
yeah, my
still
bad.
muted.
Nah,
Give me your thought.
yeah, yeah, no, great points that you made. One, one thing I would say, and you kind of hinted on this, right, of how difficult it is to play in LA. I think guys get distracted by playing in LA, but you have a guy like LeBron that is so committed to what he's doing and such a pro that he doesn't foster that behavior on his teammates. That commitment, that drive, that being dedicated. I'm a pro. I've been doing this for 20 years and I'm still doing it and outperforming you guys, outworking you guys Why isn't his teammates like that? And I
Because
don't
that's a
know. And this, you're right. It's an individual. I know what you're about to go, James. It's an individual thing, right? But I would think LeBron would have enough cachet to say, you know what, I'm following that guy.
well,
You feel me?
that's the difference between him and Kobe. Kobe made everybody be responsible for their actions on the court. You know, when
Right.
you said that the highlight, look at Lamar Odom. He was battling some personal issues, and Kobe was trying his best to keep him in there. They got a chip,
Right.
but you know, I think that the caliber type player, Kobe wasn't. Who wouldn't want to come play in LA with Kobe, right? Kobe could have went to any team and been part of a Fab Three or Big Three or Big Two and made that team better. Anywhere in the league, he stayed with the Lakers the whole time.
Right.
Those are different type of players, though.
And that's why I
LeBron,
would hate. That's why I
yeah,
would hate to like compare them far as leadership because everybody leads differently, right? But it says a lot that you have the best player on the team that's outworking everybody, and you have other guys on the team. And I know you about to go. That's an individual makeup of you wanting to actually put in that work. But this is you're playing with the great, possibly the greatest player in the league. Why aren't you putting in that same effort when you see this guy every day that's almost 40 years old and he's working so hard, he's taking care of his body, he's doing all these different things to make sure that he's ready. Why aren't you ready? And I think that's the part that's missing with LeBron with the Lakers is that the guys are getting distracted. They don't have that same buy-in that he's displaying, and it's almost like he's okay with it because his leadership style is I'm gonna show you how to do it. I'm not gonna force it on you, right? You feel me? And I think if he can garner that of maybe fostering or you know what I'm saying, Reggie? Like I don't know if I'm articulating it
I
correct.
know what you're saying, but if he hadn't done that in this many years in the league, I don't think he's gonna do it.
so tell me what your eyes are seeing on that, Reg. Why do you think that players are not wanting to come and sign with LeBron? Or it seems like a big anxious type thing to get to LA.
I told you because they get put in the spotlight, like Jamel said. But then, is you as a role player, one thing about it, you don't want to be blamed for every little thing that you do because you're not that superstar. That comes with that superstar making all that money. You the face of the team. But when you get the blame and other guys, oh well, they ain't doing this, they ain't doing that. That takes the confidence out of role players. That's why Dallas was so successful in the playoffs. Their role players, they made them comfortable. That's why you see Kyrie was passing the ball around, and they got Luka to passing the ball. They gave him confidence against Minnesota and the Clippers. Then when they got to the championship, they couldn't hit some certain shots, but they had confidence when you seen them play. LA role players don't have that confidence. Not that LeBron don't give it to them because he let people take the shots, but I just think and like you said, that media is so big. Any little thing you do, everybody can't take getting talked about and then go produce. Everybody can't take that where hey, you did this after this game when you did that. Some people can blow it off, but they human beings too. They might make a lot of money, but they human beings. And a lot of guys don't want to be put in that situation with LeBron. They done seen it happen so many times over the league, and the teams he be on get scrutinized to death. So they say, well, hey, well, I can go over here and play with such and such. I ain't got to deal with that media.
Go
One
ahead,
one
Jay.
case one case study is, and I hate bring his name up again. We talked about him just a minute ago. Was Russell Westbrook? I would venture to say that once he got to LA, his confidence in his shot totally went south.
Well, I'll give you a better highlight of what Reggie is saying too. Players, remember when Anthony Davis came to the Lakers, LeBron was making Taco Tuesday commercials with AD, brought him to the house all the time.
Yeah.
What other role player on the Lakers has probably even been to the crib?
Mm.
When he said making them comfortable. Now, AD on the team could do what he want to do. LeBron ain't gonna fuss at. He might fuss at him out of frustration, but AD gonna get a pass. Ain't nobody else on that team gonna get a pass to feel comfortable enough that they make mistakes and LeBron could bring in somebody like Russell. Half the team might not have wanted Russell on that team. If that's what he wanted and he bring him in, he didn't produce, just like his boy Melo. Melo come in, he can mess up a whole lot. LeBron ain't gonna say too much. That the camaraderie is changed a little bit. Now you brought your boy in, so your boy messing up. He just go to the bench and y'all talk about it later. When the kids come over or something like that. Come on, man, you got to step up. But you ain't getting fussed at like somebody else, another role player. So to your point about the role players feeling comfortable, I don't see that with the Lakers right now. I don't see that type of and the difference when Kobe was there. Kobe didn't really care if you liked him or not. He didn't really talk to nobody on the plane anyway. He went in there to win. We in here to win. I'm gonna hold you
But the
accountable.
role players, they were, but he spent a lot. He spent
He
time
spent
with
a
the
lot of
role
time
players.
with him. Exactly. He spent a lot of time with him. He was down to win. That's the difference with him signing all these big contracts and doing this thing. Kobe came in there to win, man. These players right now trying to get back. So, I hope the league gets to a better place. I think y'all made a point earlier about it's starting to get evened out. I think we now are starting to see some teams have a little bit of players come in their arena. I think Detroit is really trying to move a lot of players over there. I can't wait to see what that roster is going to be like because they trying to move everybody over there. I ain't saying Reggie they going to the playoffs, but
Now I gotta
I'm
give a
just
shout out to my boy. I know him, Cade Cunningham. He's a friend of the family. Cade, he got his money today. Get your money,
what?
Cade. Get your
Yeah,
money, boy. That's
K
what
yeah,
got
we get
paid.
yeah,
your money.
yeah,
I saw that res. I'm like, what?
That's my boy. That's my son, one of his friends. Get your money,
Nice.
Cade.
yeah,
Yeah, K
yeah.
got like I think it was like a 214.
Yes, sir. 5 years.
Oh,
Yeah,
224. Don't show him.
224.
224.
to be exact,
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
Go
exact.
ahead,
Nah,
Cade.
Yeah, that's real
it's
good.
dope. It's dope. But but I ain't gonna front Reg. I'm like, cause he's been hurt a lot. Like, dang, he
But
got that
last
much.
year he averaged 22.
So I'm gonna end with
22.
this. I'm gonna end with this as Jamil just brought up a really good point. That takes a lot away on the camaraderie with the team. Also, you sign a dude like that, and everybody else on the team is saying, "Is he worth that much money?" You know how I go on the team.
Well,
We had
I
an
think in his
episode.
case, he's the face of that franchise. I just don't know if he's worth. Well, I think he probably got a max actually. He probably got a
Yeah,
max
he got the
rookie
rookie
fee.
max.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but
Yeah,
hey.
Cade. Hey, they paying all these other months. Cade, get your money.
Yep,
I'm with you,
yep.
baby.
And we
Buy me
gonna
dinner
see.
when I see you.
Yeah, we
Hey,
gonna see how he
hey,
do
Reggie,
next year. We gonna see how
when you
this
talk
year
to you,
turns out.
when you talk to you better tell him to get out of Detroit because
He
I think
can't. He been
careers are ending.
trying. He
Careers are
can't.
ending in Detroit.
For real,
They
he ain't
closed
getting out
down
of there
for him.
now. They just paid him now. He ain't getting out of there now, no time
Hey,
soon.
hey.
He better DoorDash you some meals, dog. He ain't going
Hey,
nowhere no time soon.
he better pull a Kyrie and post something to Instagram.
To get him up out of there. Hey, hey, this has been a great show, fellas. I'd like to thank y'all again for another show. Being that the NBA has slowed down, we're going to slow down a little bit on some of the shows. So, just like to thank some of our fans who've been supporting us this whole time. We're going to start preparing up for our NBA season. I mean, I'm sorry, our NFL
NFL.
season that is coming up. So, a lot of you won't see as many NBA shows as we've had these past couple of months, but we like you to stay tuned. You will see some shorts, and we will keep you posted on some upcoming projects that we have going on. So
Yeah, we got.
again, on
I'm just going to say we got an NFL show coming, full NFL show that's coming. That's new to this upcoming NFL season. I just wanted to put that out
yeah,
there. I saw we had someone on the comments that was like, um, they basically want to connect with us and and everything. They started, following our content. So that was good to see.
That was
Um,
really good. I did see that. I didn't want to break the discussion, and I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't get a chance to go back and give that shout out. So thank you for your comments and still continuing to support us. We really appreciate that. Good point. All right, fellas. So this wraps up another great show. Hopefully we be back here next week or with some content. We'll update the fans on our next move. But I'd like to thank y'all again for another show, man.
yeah,
Really,
that's
really
good.
great. Really, really great. So on behalf of the End Zone, Jamel, Reggie, and myself,